Hi guys, and welcome to my first ever video blog. Um, I'm kind of excited to be trying something new. Okay, I'm gonna get right to it. So what I want to talk about today really quickly is lessons that I learned in 2015. Now, I know it's the 4th of January, so I'm a little bit late, but better late than never. And what I want to share with you is just the big things that I learned, because I learned so many things. We learn every day if we are open to what the universe has to teach us. But I learned some really, really big things in 2015 that I think anybody could find value in. So the first thing that I learned, the most important thing that I learned, perhaps in my whole entire life, is how to trust God. I've spent my whole life being a Christian. I've written about it. I've talked about it. If you follow my blogs, you know my story, that I grew up in the church, and I'm no stranger to what the Bible says about God and faith. But I never actually put that into practice. I always try to do things my own way, and generally didn't have the best consequences. But this year, I learned that God's plan for my life is so much better and greater than anything that I could ever dream of. And while I have my own dreams, the only way that I'm going to fulfill them and exceed them and live in the purpose that He has for me is if I learn how to trust Him. And so I took some advice and took some leaps of faith and started to put my trust in God for everything, not just when things got really desperate, but for everything, every single thing. And so here's an example that I want to share with you guys. Early in 2015, I decided that I wanted to move. The apartment that I currently live in is small, and as you know, I have 3 young, rambunctious sons, and so it was becoming a bit much, and there were some other issues that needed to be resolved with the apartment. And so even though it was inexpensive because my parents are my landlord, it wasn't working for me and my children. And so I started house hunting, and I was getting frustrated because I wanted something nice in a certain price range and I wasn't finding it. And I started to settle and feel like, okay, well, I should just take this place because I can't find anything better. And my mentor told me to write a list of everything that I want and need in a home. And reluctantly, I wrote the list. And at this point, I was kind of fed up because I'm like, I don't have no time to write a list, But she said, just write the list and pray over it and ask God to give you what's on that list. So I did. And 10 months later, I found the most amazing home for me and my boys to move into. And I moved into it on February 1st. And I share that to say, I put limits on God all the time because of my lack of faith and my inability to trust Him. But that doesn't mean that He is not capable of doing exactly what I need, of fulfilling my heart's desire. I limit Him, but He is absolutely limitless. And lo and behold, I carried that list around in my purse for 10 months. Even when I had forgotten about it, even when I had stopped house hunting, that list was there. That prayer was there. Those were the desires of my heart. And I got it. And I'm going to be so excited to share that with you when I actually get to the moving stage. But I just wanted to use that as an example to say, trust God with everything. The little things, the big things. Don't limit Him. The second most important thing that I learned in 2015 is to love myself. I've struggled with that for my whole life. I've struggled with thinking that I was enough, that I was worth anything. And when you don't love yourself, you look for love all over the place, whether it's in other relationships, friendships, material things. You turn to food, sex, drugs, all kinds of things that you think are going to help you feel better about yourself because you don't love yourself. And at the end of the day, there's always a void. Always a void that's left. You can be in the most amazing relationship. You can be making a whole bunch of money. You know, you can have all the Louis Vuitton bags that they make. If you don't love yourself, there's always a void. And that void became so deep in me. And I started to actually really feel it. Like I have been feeling it with stuff for like the last 10, 15 years. But this year, nothing I filled it with was sufficient. And again, through work with my mentor, I took some time to get to know myself and love that person. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I have bad habits. But I love myself. And in loving myself, I opened up a whole world of opportunity to get better, to improve myself, and to one day find a love that complements the love that I have for myself. So that was the second most important thing that I learned in 2015. To take some time loving myself. And it's a journey, and I don't think it will ever end. I don't think I will ever be able to sit in front of anyone and say that it's not a struggle. But I choose every single day to love myself instead of waiting for someone or something to make me feel good. I invest in myself and I give that to myself. And the third most important lesson that I learned for 2015 is to be true to myself. After you start loving yourself, you start getting to know yourself, you start, really seeing what makes you happy. You come to a crossroads because you've never known all this stuff before. So you've kind of been living life maybe on a whim. You do this, you do that, you do things that make your parents happy or your friends happy or your significant other happy, but it doesn't necessarily make you happy. And so when you start to fall in love with yourself, you want to make yourself happy. And in order to do that, you have to be true to yourself. And it takes a whole lot of courage to do things that no one else understands. But you know in your heart, in your soul, that it is what is best for you. That's how you be true to yourself. And I learned how to do that this year. And it's difficult. I've had to set boundaries with people that I love, my family, my friends. I've had to end relationships that did not serve the greater purpose that I know God has for me. But that was part of being true to myself. And it's difficult. It's definitely difficult, but it's worth it, because when you lay your head at night and when you look at yourself in the mirror, you do those things with a sense of peace that you have never, ever had before. And the final lesson that I want to share with you that really impacted my life for 2015 was keep going. Don't give up. As you may or may not know, I also embarked on a wellness journey in 2015, and I have tried to lose weight several times. This is not the first time at all. But this is the first time that I stuck with it. And I'm really, really proud to say that I lost 55 pounds in 2015. And it wasn't easy. There were days that I didn't work out. There were days that I didn't give 100% when I did work out. There were days that I didn't eat what I was supposed to eat. There were days that I binged. There were days that I didn't eat at all, trying to make up for the days that I binged. Like it was a emotional and physical roller coaster, but I never stopped. I kept going, and in the end, I reaped the benefit of it. I lost weight, and I proved to myself that it is possible. But more than just the weight loss, what that whole situation done for me was taught me and showed me that I am capable of doing whatever I put my mind to. With God's help, I am capable of doing whatever I put my mind to. Like, that is so big. That is so amazing. That is so beautiful. With God's help, I am capable of doing anything that I put my mind to, as long as I keep going. The detours and the roadblocks and the falls, they don't have to stop me from achieving what I need to achieve. They can just be detours, roadblocks, and falls. They don't have to be the end. So I'm looking forward to 2016. I'm looking forward to taking those lessons that I learned about faith, self-love, being true to myself, and perseverance. I'm looking forward to taking those lessons and carrying them with me in 2016 and really blossoming and developing in the purpose that God has for me. And I'm really, really excited to take you on this journey with me. Thanks for listening. I'm wishing you all a happy new year, a new year that is filled with self-love, peace, acceptance, faith, hope, and happiness. Till next time.